just in the machine, fetching coffee, making copies, her brilliance tucked away behind a polite, unassuming smile. She was sharp, observant, and utterly invisible, the perfect camouflage for a predator. Her first day, she was warned about Damien by the only person who seemed to see her as more than a temporary fixture, Elias Vance. A junior VP with kind eyes, a conscience that was becoming a liability in a place like this, and a smile that was genuine in a building full of masks. He pulled her aside in the break room, his voice low and confidential. "Just some friendly advice. Stay off Damien Ashford's radar. He's a shark. He'll chew you up and spit you out before you even know you're bleeding. I've seen it happen to 3 interns in the last 2 years. Smart girls. Ambitious. He uses them up and throws them away." Zara just nodded, her expression a perfect mask of gratitude and naivety. "Thank you. I'll be careful. I'm just here to learn." But she wasn't there to learn. She was there to hunt, because Damien Ashford had done more than just build an empire. Years ago, he had destroyed one. A small, honest tech firm run by a man named Marcus Washington. Her father, a brilliant engineer who believed in fair business and ethical practices. Damien had orchestrated a hostile takeover, spread lies about the company's financial stability, and bought it for pennies on the dollar. A corporate crucifixion that had left her father with nothing but a mountain of debt and a broken heart that eventually gave out. Zara was 16 when she watched her father die in that hospital bed, his last words a whisper of regret that he couldn't protect his family. Damien didn't even remember his name, but Zara did, and she was here to collect a debt that was long overdue. Her plan began with a simple, calculated move. During a high-level strategy meeting where she was meant to be a silent note-taker, she accidentally spilled a coffee on the lap of a visiting investor, just as he was about to sign a disastrous deal Damien was pushing. In the ensuing chaos, she handed Damien a folder. Inside, under the guise of updated reports, was a single, flawlessly analyzed page detailing a fatal flaw in the deal he'd missed, a flaw that would have cost the company millions. She saved him, and in doing so, she stepped directly into the shark's line of sight. That evening, he called her to his office. The city lights twinkled behind him like a carpet of fallen stars. He wasn't smiling. He was watching her, his eyes dark and intense, the way a collector examines a rare gem. "Zara Washington, the intern. You have my attention. Tell me, how did you see what my entire team of analysts missed?" She met his gaze, calm and steady. "I just read the fine print, Mr. Ashford. Sometimes the biggest risks are hidden in the smallest details." A slow, dangerous smile spread across Damien's face. It wasn't the smile of a mentor. It was the smile of a predator who had just found a new, fascinating prey. He saw her ambition, her fire, but he mistook it for a reflection of his own. He thought he could mold it, control it, own it. "You're wasted making copies. From now on, you report to me, directly." And just like that, the lamb was invited into the lion's den, or so the lion thought. The truth was, the hunter had just been welcomed into the lair of her unsuspecting target. The weeks that followed were a blur of dizzying highs and toxic lows. Damien's mentorship was a seduction. It started with late nights in the office, his hand brushing hers as they leaned over financial projections. The way he'd stand just a little too close, his cologne expensive and intoxicating. The way he'd compliment her mind, then let his eyes linger on her body. It moved to lavish dinners at impossible-to-book restaurants, where he'd dismiss his wife's calls with a casual wave of his hand and a comment that made Zara's skin crawl. "Victoria understands. She has her life. I have mine. That's how successful marriages work." He was testing her, grooming her, pulling her into his corrupt world. He'd tell her stories of his conquests, both business and personal, with a pride that bordered on sociopathic. He'd brag about the companies he'd destroyed, the men he'd broken, the women he'd had. He thought he was impressing her. He didn't realize he was handing her ammunition. He saw her as a beautiful, intelligent toy. He didn't see the cold, hard fury simmering beneath her skin. He didn't see her saving every receipt, documenting every inappropriate conversation, and copying every secret file he so carelessly left open on his desktop when he stepped out to take a call. Their affair, when it finally happened, was a storm. It was lust and power, a collision of two calculated performances. In his $50 million penthouse suite overlooking the city, with champagne, chilling, and secrets hanging in the air, he thought he was conquering her. He whispered promises of a future, of a seat on the board, of a life she could only dream of, weekends on his yacht, trips on his private jet, a world of unimaginable luxury. You're special, Zara. Not like the others. You have a fire in you. With me, you could burn this whole city down. I could make you untouchable, powerful. You'd never have to answer to anyone again. And Zara played her part to perfection. She was the starstruck intern, overwhelmed by his power, addicted to his touch. She gasped at the right moments, whispered his name like a prayer, made him feel like the god he believed himself to be. But every time he kissed her, she tasted ash. Every time he held her, she felt the ghost of her father's hand on her shoulder. She was using his lust as a key, and it was unlocking every door she needed.
If you're enjoying this story, take a moment to like the video, subscribe.